Hello and welcome to a new series. This time it's going to be on a game called Wartales. I've played a bit before it was released. I've played all the way back in early access, but it's been a while, so I thought that it would be nice to jump back in and see all the new features. With that being said though, let's try and make a new game. And for our companions, our 4 starting guys, I believe we should pick apprentice friends looking for an adventure. In terms of our destiny, I think either are used to long walks or cunning fighters are great options. Your companions are cunning fighters grant us experience and influence but increased by 10%. And if they're used to long walks, they reduce the speed at which the troops fatigue stacks by 10, meaning we can do more stuff in a day before we need to rest. Thinking about it a bit more, I think we should go with are used to long walks. The reason I'm not picking our cunning fighters here is because at some point the experience is gonna cap. I believe the cap is at 12. It's far away, but if this is gonna be a long running series, we might reach it at some point anyway and save this bonus trait here. After reading through what flaws we could give them, a somewhat meek appearance seems to be the less punishing one. We only suffer 1 less carrying capacity on each of our companions, and since there are animals or prisoners we could use for this purpose, I believe we'll select that our companions have a somewhat meek appearance. As for the exploration mode, we can either choose adaptive. The difficulty of all regions adapts dynamically to your group's size and your unit's power. The game will always offer a challenge suited to a troop. Or region-locked exploration. Each region of the world has a set difficulty from the start. You will have to expand and improve your troop before you can explore more dangerous areas and fight more powerful enemies. Realistically, I believe the adaptive one is better because we can get scaling loot from the regions that we go into. Say if I chose region locked, if I go back here, or if I go to this region here, up in the left, and if I ever return to the starting region, the loot here is going to be absolutely garbage. So for that reason, I think adaptive is going to prove not only more of a challenge, but also potentially more rewarding. As for the starting region, I've got a few of them since I completed some of the region quests, but for the sake of perpetuity, I will select Tiltren County, excuse me. I don't think I'm good enough to play on extreme, but I will settle for expert, and also we'll be playing on Ironman. 1 save, 1 chance, you cannot go back, and any game over is irreversible. This is the most difficult and demanding game mode in Wartales, and I believe that sorts it out. We will name the save after a prominent English mercenary band. Name him to John Hawkwood, an infamous mercenary in the White Company, like so. Alright, I've taken some time to customize our starting 4. We have Melillia on the left. She's gonna be our sword and board. She has thick-skinned, strong, and she's lazy. I've selected the Wrath as the bonus ability, since I believe doing some extra damage but also gaining fury upon kill would be good. As for Lawrence, I've given him aim, since he's using a bow, of course. I've boosted his dex and crit, and he's also lazy. The reason I'm gonna select the lazy is because I think it's the least punishing of all of these. I don't want any drunkards or gluttons or anything else, because those are just gonna be really annoying to deal with. As for Rolenald, I've given him first aid, since he's gonna be our ranger who's also a medic type. I've also given him nimble and volunteer, so I pay less and also boost his dex. And as for our captain, John Hawkwood, I've given him the taunt ability, since he's gonna be a tank, and I've given him strong and volunteer as well, so he's a bit cheaper. I've considered if I wanted to have 2 tanks, and I think I will, at least for the starting 2. I think I could get some more damage from getting more companions that boost my flanking damage in terms of arrows or stabby McStab. So without further ado, let's start. And at the beginning. Your companions are off in a search of adventure. After a few days of quietly traveling along, their only feat was not getting lost, and they have reached their destination. Here surely awaits some novel and exciting quest that will stir up the uneventful life of bored apprentices. Adventure awaits at the end of the road for those who make it there alive. That is, that last part is rather important because I'm sure I will lose someone eventually. Immediately I've paused the game as I want to choose some professions and just get 2% extra crit on all of my characters. Not that it's going to make that much of a difference, but any potential crit boost could give me a crit against these guys over here. Without further ado, and I also just bought the Tavern DLC. Wait, what was that item? Seasoning. Ingredients with rich and diverse flavors to enhance the dishes. Oh, it's a tavern exclusive item, I guess. Alright, so let's move over here. And we should be met with the combat tutorial. Let's see, combat. When your turn comes, play any unit you haven't used yet in the round, and you can find out which enemy will then come into play and to prepare our strategy. So this hoodlum here is the one that's moving first, but before that we seem to have 2 turns. There's also this ranged person down here. I think I'll move my archer around here potentially. No, down here. Have Rolenald go over here. Melillia, can you reach? No. How about you? Can you reach? No. That's not good. Could try to bait him over here instead, which I think I might just do that. Just double checking, you can reach over here as well. Since this pound ability does more damage if the target still has armor, I think I will initiate combat with John Hawkwood. That's only makes sense as it is also our captain. So we batter him for 7 damage. Engage. When you perform a melee attack on a free enemy, you engage them, symbolized by this sword icon. An engaged unit can only attack the engaged opponent and has a higher chance of taking critical damage. Take advantage of this with your other units, so we'll keep that in mind. An engaged unit is exposing their back. Attack them from behind to get a bonus, and we'll do just that. But before that, we will end our turn with space. Right, we can now move any of our people as we so deem fit. And I think I'll move my ranger here, like so. And with a backstab increases, or this knife has the ambush quality, so it increases the critical hit chance by an extra 30. And this is triggered when this unit attacks an engaged enemy from behind, which this person is, since the arrow is pointing this way. So hopefully we can get a crit. We do not, and we roll the lowest damage. Well, we take 6 damage on John Hawkwood. As for our sword and board, we'll simply surround this guy, like so. Surround an engaged enemy unit with 2 allies to get a bonus. So if we right click this hoodlum now, you can see here surrounded. This unit is engaged in combat and next to 2 free enemies. Damage taken increased by 20%. So let's slice him up. 7 damage. Now we could wrath him, and that isn't guaranteed to kill him, and I'll only have 2 valor points. But since our archer is still up, I think I'll just have him kill him. If I move here, this should theoretically have 100% chance to hit, and it does. The hoodlum goes down. We are galvanized, so now we do 50% more damage. But next up is this poacher's turn. Moves a bit forward and probably snipes John Hawk. I think if we start off by moving our archer so we can get a clear shot. 23 on a crit. Lovely jubbly. Can anyone reach him? Yep. John Hawkwood, I think you deserve the kill as our captain. So, 9 to 11, that's more than enough. And he bashes his bloody head in, bruv. We get some lavender, some flowers. Oh, excuse me. Take. There we are. We get a damaged dagger with the poisoning skill or ability. Okay, that's gonna take a little bit getting used to. I don't think I'm gonna repair, so I'll just move on. That's W. We discover the plateau stables, and John Hawkwood has actually leveled up. I think I want to save it for a little bit. If we interact with this and just click this button, we should get the profession of thief, which we could in theory put on our ranger to get more dex, like so. Now, is there anything we actually want to steal out of this person here? I mean, we don't have any suspicion, so we might as well. 40 to 75 and 45 to 85. I think the sandstone will be more useful. Yoink. We talk to Rolenald. He wants us to buy a horse from him, and we'll get some horseshoes. We'll keep that in mind. I don't think there's anything else Oh, there's also hemp. A lot of these locations have hemp. They can be used to craft rope. With that being said, let's move out here, and there's a barrel. Take the cloth. We should find our first town. There it is. We have found Stromcat. There are a few things we want to do in this town. One of them is the blacksmith, the other one is the tavern, the third one is the clinic, also the market perhaps. We will check out the actual tavern when we have a little bit more progression done. Alright, let's take a look at our potential guys. Whether we have a pugilist, he comes with clever, so it's not bad. He doesn't have any negative traits, so that's a potential. We have Fridius, he's a crossbowman, he's hardworking, and he's scrawny. Okay, he takes more he's less like healthy, but he's good in terms of earning profession experience. He also has the crossbow. And we have Borhan, another pugilist. He is thick-skinned, so he has free base guard. He has first aid. What about this guy? He has aim, so that's not bad. This guy has wrath. So this is a more offensive one. This is a more defense in first aid. Terms of first aid, excuse me. Let's talk with Emissary Margie. Let's review. Okay, there are a few easy tasks. I think we'll just click those. We'll free Petra Mountain Mine. Accept. We'll help some requested drunkards. I don't think we're geared up to do any of these, especially not fighting Matthias Lund, since he's an elite enemy of this area. We can talk to the informant, right? And if we buy these for influence, which we will not, at least not this region, these progress this scenario meter up here. So we'll just keep him in mind for any regions I'm not too familiar with, right? And here's a few recipes that we might steal at some point, especially this culture shop and some of these good food items perhaps. Right, we should maybe take a look at if we want to swap out the rusty shift for the poison. So we're basically exchanging crit on backstabs for poison, which loses 5% on maximum health, and we also gain 2 dex, so we do more damage, like so. Our dex changes to 11. I mean, I think for now I will try out the damage dagger for a little bit. Let's see if John Hawkwood rolled good in terms of a level up, and he did. Willpower is an amazing start, especially when it's 2 points. I think I'm actually okay with that. After looking through the specializations, I think we will go for Destroyer, since we want to make John Hawkwood a walking fortress, and by selecting Destroyer we get access to heavy armor as well. So let's lock down that choice, and John Hawkwood becomes a destroyer, like so. So we'll be on the lookout for heavy armor for him. Right, let's take a visit to the blacksmith, interact with the anvil to get the blacksmith profession, which will immediately swap out on, thank you, on John Hawkwood and Melillia, like so. So we have more strength on our frontline characters anyway. Currently we need some more materials to craft stuff, but we will periodically come back to forge some stuff. He wants a skilled blacksmith, so we'll keep on the lookout for that. Let's head out, and our last stop, at least next to last stop, is the apothecary. Right, let's interact with the apothecary, and I think our alchemist will probably be our archer for this game. We get an increase to dex, and with that we can also head into the market and interact with this guy, and he'll steal some of our money. Be a good spirit and give it to him. He will leave with 20, but we can find him just over here and kill him. We can threaten him for the gold back, and we can also attack him. I know it's a bit rude, but he stole from the notorious White Company. He deserves death. This fight doesn't need much narration, as we already have Galvanize. So let's move our swordswoman out here and simply stab him. If we kill him with Lawrence, we should get the experience on him. We also gain the trait Glorious for him. That's good. Take some gold and a lockpick and some experience. Right, let's check out our map. We have the Hammer for Hire, which is the quest from the blacksmith. We have our objective to help some drunkards, and we also have our objective to free the Mount Petra mine. I think I'll head southeast. This is the starting region we start in, and help these drunkards down here. So let's orient the map with right mouse button. So move this way. And as you can see, our fatigue is slowly getting down. Have to rest momentarily. Mother lovely background music while we make our down. I think it's these guys they're talking about. That's not how I spell that. So they are looking to kill refugees. We could attack them to get some leather. We could simply leave them. As you can see, they're quite armored, but we have the numerical advantage. But before we do that, I think a reparation of our armor is in order. It looks good. Let's try our hand at what potentially might be a mistake. Let's fight them. Alright, the foot soldiers up first. And here, as you can see, they are quite beefy. We'll put John Hawkwood in front, Melillia on the left, Ronald, I'll call him. I think that gives us all a piece of it just behind. I could move down here to throw this, theoretically, or at least get in preparation of that. I think if I move over here and stab him like so, we could move our Captain John Hawkwood forwards and hit him at the back for decent damage. We could also weaken him, which reduces the damage he deals. Let's check out how much that is. Just 5 to 11, and Melillia has 10, so he can survive at least one. How about you? 6 to 9, and you apply destabilization. We'll keep that weakening blow in mind for a little bit. That hurt. We do have the opportunity to move Rolenald forwards, and we can attack him in the back with this round and also apply poison to him like so. And if we move our archer, actually no, let's just move him a bit forward. 82%, that's not good enough. 83%, that's not good enough. 100%, that's better. Let's back away so he hopefully won't go for our archer as is expected. We really want to focus one of them down, as anything else would be painful indeed. So let's try and slice here, like so. Apply weakening to this person by moving out here, hitting him in the back, and also just hit him normally to remove his armor. Good critical hit, lovely. He's alright with that. As for you, 8 damage more. If we move over here, we should have 100%. We do. 8 more damage. That's gonna hurt this right here. Okay, that's not that bad actually. Right, this person moves first. We have 2 moves to kill, which should be more than possible. I would like to have Rolenald attack this foot soldier from behind. So to achieve that, I think we have to attack with John Hawkwood like so, and have our archer move up, just simply shoot. We should be galvanized, and indeed we are, and we'll just move our archer to one of the sides here so we surround him. We'll also move our rogue down a bit so there's space for John to move and get a back attack as well. If this crit, actually we'll kill him with these 2 guys. 34 damage, that's a big hit this early on. Alright, we get some leather, a bec de corbin of the guard. That's definitely not how that's supposed to be pronounced, but oh well. And in terms of repairing our armor, I think we will. And Ronald has leveled up, and we've helped the drunkards, so we've actually made our first contract complete. We also meet upon the fatigue mechanic, so let's camp by pressing C. You need to rest. You can rest at a campfire in your camp. Feed your troop and pay their wages to avoid unrest. Resting refills your fatigue meter, restores valor points, and speeds up time. Alright, let's put our... We don't have the Tinkerer anymore. No, I guess that makes sense for now though, since we don't have any experience. We'll simply put Lawrence on the tinkering bench, and with the hemp we collected, we can get some rope, like so. And we now have 2 knowledge points. Since this is the official released version of the game, some of these are more expensive than they used to be initially upon early access, and also for a majority of the game. All of these were just 1. I enjoy picking up career plans so we can freely choose where our level ups goes by just spending influence. I'll do just that. Let's see what Ronald levels up into. We can select between Valorous Audacity. Every time this unit ends their turn next to an enemy and is not engaged in combat, gain a temporary valor point. Every time this unit kills an enemy, you gain a temporary valor point. Every time this unit ends their turn next to an ally not engaged in combat, you gain a temporary valor point. Since I think our rogue is gonna be our killer for now, I think Valorous Victory is where I'll put our specialization point. As for his starting level 2 ability or aptitude point, we could increase willpower by 2 by spending 10 influence. We could increase movement, and I think I'll use our newly acquired, knowledge to increase willpower by 2 instead of 1. Just spend 10 influence points. Now we have willpower of 12, and at 15 this unit survives the first time they should die in combat once per encounter. We want to get all of our characters to 12 to 14 willpower so we can boost the willpower with items or something else and get this willpower thing. With that being said, let's see if there were anything else. We can craft 1 point of anything, and I believe we could use a pit or petal, get another knowledge point, singular lockpick, so first craft bonus, perhaps a fishing hook as well. So we have 2 knowledge points again. Let's take a look at what we can get. Run is never bad, so we can hold shift to run. Smooth talk, since we are looking at least to recruit some more guys. Rationing and frugality is never bad, so they are cheaper or take less food upon rest. Do not need restoration yet, since our armor is quite bad. I think we should go for smooth talk, and perhaps something in the tinkerer. Cannot craft any of these anyway, so let's simply go back into the actual knowledge and potentially save up. We'll save up for fast training so our new recruits have 1 free attribute point. With all of that covered, we'll move our horse Alpha over to the side. I think we'll rest for the first time. 4 pieces of bread and a singular apple. Can rest. We regain some valor points. We increase some happiness, and there are also happiness cutoff points, and we ideally want to get to 15 so we get more experience points, and anything above 15 grants 5 influence per happiness. And since we also have one guy, since we have Lawrence on Tinkerer's workbench, we get 2 raw material. Right, let's free this mine, shall we? If I warn him or threaten him, I am most likely going to go into wanted, and I don't really want that. I'll just persuade him with some influence. Right, he's angry that they can't mine the salt because there's some iron in the way, but by simply interacting with this, we should have Profession of Miner on. Since John Hawkwood is already going into the destroyer tree, we can boost constitution even more. He has 28 hit points now. We can also have John Hawkwood now mine some of these. Ammo, we get 9 iron ore and 4 experience. We get 7 and 4 experience. And with that, we are at 8 out of 20. That's the downside of lazy. We would have had more experience. But if we talk to this foreman once, we get our influence back. We could also inspect this and perhaps steal the salt. But since we've already stolen something and we are more likely to go into wanted, we'll leave it be until our suspicion meter is a bit lower than what it is right now. Right, we could circle around and go into the Petra mountain mine, circle back into Stromcat. I think we'll do just that. We discover the Lund farm. There's some flowers here we'll pick up, some wood over here, and this bag up here has some food as well. It will come in handy. Yoink. Right, following this road, we come upon an ambush, it would seem, and it is a hoodlum and a poacher that was hiding in the forest. Let's fight for our lives. Alright, we have a spear back here. There's a bear trap, another spear, and a comfrey. He's a bit further away than I would have wanted, and they are actually quite tanky already, but oh well, we'll try our hand at this. Since the archer is quite far away, he'll have to run up, so if we keep the combat on our side of the field, we should have no issues at all. Let's move up, hit him in the face for 8 points of damage. Remember, pound is weak. The pound does more damage. The targets still have this grey bar on their heads. Do I want to engage Melillia right now? Do I just want to move to the side, like so that she is more likely to take this hit? I think I will take an annoying hit on John Hawkwood. As for Rolenald, we'll move him. No, let's move Lawrence forwards. Cannot reach unless we use aim. We'll just focus on the hoodlum. Nice crit. If we move forward with this around, we should potentially be able to kill him. 10 to 13. Anything above a 10 would kill. That's a kill animation. Temporary valor points, because we have the valorous victory already coming in handy. We'll move Rolenald a bit forward so he's closer to the poacher. Gets hit instead of Melillia, which is unfortunate. Right, let's push up with Melillia here. Instantly remove the armor. Can you reach? You can reach the side. But if we move up with our archer first, we should be able to get a clear shot. 15 points of damage. He punches Melillia for only 2 points. Well, doesn't really matter what we do, really. We could move up first. Actually, we can't first aid ourselves. Never mind. Let's just kill. Right. We get our first armor. A outlaw's tabard, which has movement and some more armor on it. So before we repair any of this, we could potentially slot that on someone. We could put it on John Hawkwood temporarily. I think we'll do that. And as for Rolenald, can be upgraded to the Ankler's Rags, which we can repair. And this is only 2 points, so that's fine. Lawrence has leveled up. As for Lawrence's specialization, I think Valorous Victory is also what we'll pick. And we could either boost critical hit or just willpower by 2, but that'll cost 40 influence, which at this point is rather expensive. That being said, we could also boost an archer with more movement is never a bad idea. So I think I'll do that. So we'll move on to our actual objective now. We had a little scuffle with those guys, but now we also have the knowledge point required to get fast training. Now our recruits are gonna join us with 1 free aptitude point, and we can also select all our companions' future aptitude points allocations. Would appear it's to the right here. There's some flowers. There's also a hunt, it would seem, down there, and potentially we will try our luck at a mountain mine. 2 henchmen and a raider and fight it out. Alright, we have a torch. This henchman is going first. Just 6 to 8 damage. This is a coup de grace, so that's not a threat. And this is 6 to 8 damage as well. So we want to deal with these henchmen and generally avoid this coup de grace person doing damage to us. Right, if we move our archer forwards, I think if we engage them on this side, like so, we can also apply a weakening. We don't take too much damage. We only take 2 return. I think moving up, like if I move here and have another one here, he'll probably move this way and set up his coup de grace there. So I think I'll try and move him down here and stab him. And with you, we will try and move up, get this round off, poison him, move away a bit so we are not clumped up for coup de grace, like so. We'll take some more armor damage, and he'll change thingies. But I think if bit for what's our chances right now? 62, that's not enough. What if we move here? That's 100%. Great. We are galvanized now. We're a little bit back, so we aren't clumped up. He will set up his hammer thing. We'll want to make sure we either kill him or get John Hawkwood out of that red cone here, and to achieve that, I think the easiest way is simply killing him. This John Hawkwood is actually positioned in a way that he helps flanking this raider here, and if I move my second person here as well and stab the raider like so, move my rogue down here, stab him in the back so the coup de grace is gone. I could move him here, but then my archer is gonna take some serious bad chances at hitting this henchman, which I don't think is worth it. Actually, no, we'll try our hand at it. We can move our archer up here, so we can also get support on John Hawkwood. Surround an engaged opponent unit with 2 allies to get a bonus. Since John Hawkwood is now supported, he takes 20% less damage. Let's try and hit this henchman. 28 hit points, that's a nice hit. And we unfortunately lose our armor, but the combat is ended like so. We get a Deserter's Brigandine with 9 guard and 12 armor. That is definitely going on John Hawkwood instead. With that being said, you can swap out like so. Put Melillia. Cannot use it. That's unfortunate. You cannot use it. You cannot use it. Okay, so we'll just hold on to this Outlaw's Tabard for now, since we can't actually use it on any of our characters currently. As for Melillia, I think I will... Should I go protect? Oh, that's a good question. I did say I want 2 tanks, but do I want the buffing type tank or the fighter type tank? I think I've decided, and I will go fighter. This allows us to get destabilization, which can reduce a heavy armored opponent's guard to 0, so we can do full damage. And I will also increase willpower with some influence. Now all, or at least a lot of our characters, has 12 willpower. Excuse me. Right, we've cleared out Mount Petra mine, and we can also mine some iron ore. There's actually 3 of them in here. We hit Minor Apprentice with John Hawkwood, so we can safely swap away from Minor if we want to. We now get 1 strength from our minor profession here as well. So it's boosted by 1 and boosted by 1. That's why you want to increase your profession levels. I think that concludes the mine, and I also think that concludes this episode. Once we wrap up to Stromcap and turn in our quests, we discover Wilbert's fishery. Simply heading up this road here should bring us up to Stromcap. We might not reach it today before we have to rest. It would appear we might just do that. We get in here, we will go to inn, talk to the emissary, we can collect our bounties and get a bunch of money. Blammo. Let's review. These will be for the next episode then. Can I scroll? Thank you. Okay, so there's a couple of gangs we will accept. Also a request to help some desperate refugee we'll accept as well. The starting 3 guys are still in here, it would appear. So perhaps we'll take a look at acquiring our 5th mercenary, but we should probably do that after or before we rest, or after we rest, excuse me, so we don't lose more food than necessary. Let's take a visit into, let's go into paths. There's a few we can collect here. Let's go into the forge and click the anvil. Indeed, we have a bunch of stuff we can craft since we have a bunch of iron. We're a little bit lacking in wood and leather, but we could craft a better shield for wood or Melillia. We could also craft some basic rags. Sorry, but I think we'll craft a shield here to showcase this mechanic. Learn how to forge. The metal plates are heating up. Press left mouse button. When a plate turns red to forge your item, press left mouse button again when the metal plate gives off sparks to forge an item of superior quality. Hit all the plates at the right time for a chance to forge an item of exceptional quality. We'll aim to get exceptional quality shield. And we manage to get another knowledge point since this is the first time we crafted it. And instead of the base shield yields of 9 and 7, I think, we get more guard. We also get the protection skill. Now, should I craft these rags? I don't think I will since we have this Outlaws tablet here, but I will definitely keep it in mind for the first time bonus down here. Since I crafted this shield, we now have the 2nd level of shield available to learn once we get some more experience for Melillia in her blacksmithing. And as you can see, the base shield stats are 9 guard, 5 armor, and the protection skill. Since we got an exceptional shield, we get 11 armor and 7 shield. Or, excuse me, 7 armor and 11 guard. With that all sorted, let's put this shield in. We can also upgrade his club like so. Now we have heavy strike, so we lose pound, so we don't do much more damage to shield or armor, but we do more overall damage. Also gotten Hawkwood up to 19 armor, 20 guard, and some decent stats for a level 2. With that being said, I think I'll keep this knowledge point in bank, and I will leave off this episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.